How do type A control freaks like me loosen their grip on creative control and let other people take the reins? I don't know if I have an answer for that, but let's talk about it. If it fits! So we are officially wrapped on Delirium Tremens. I am uploading the footage to my computer right now. I have not seen any of it yet. I actually have a brief cameo because I was the only option.
Will that be cash or credits?
Big thank you to Used to Be's again for letting us film. But this month I have been working a lot on our short film for December, which is going to be a Christmas special called an If It Fits Christmas. I'm writing a Christmas song with Greg Kinne. Get excited for that. But because I've been focusing on the December short, I've really taken a back seat on this November short, and I've really just been there to facilitate in any way that I can, if it's props or just helping with scheduling. But because of the way all of our schedules worked out, Brad and Sam are directing and Tim is the DP, and a lot of their days are free, so they shot during the day yesterday while Maddie, Greg, and I were at work. And so I was really only on set for about a quarter of the time. Maddie is going to be editing this one, and then I'll come in at the end to color it and do any kind of light visual effects that we need and take a final look before it goes out on November 25th. But that's really it. That was the extent of my creative involvement in this. Obviously, I gave my opinions on the script and the tone and things like that to Brad, Sam, and Tim, but I have been very hands-off, and I have to say, but I feel like I handled it pretty well. I have talked about it in videos before, but I am a control freak. As I'm getting older, I feel like I'm recognizing it more and more in myself when I'm doing it and kind of figuring out ways to mitigate it, or not even mitigate it, but come to terms with it. I think a lot of this comes down to who I am as a producer, or at least the kind of producer that I want to be. And the kind of producer I want to be is the kind of producer I would want to have, and that's someone who is supportive and gives their opinion, but is pretty hands-off with the creative direction of the film. It's probably a whole nother video about what a producer actually does, or what I want to do as a producer. But in this video, I really want to talk about the 3 things that I've kind of realized over time that I need to do to get over that feeling that I need to have my hand in everything, or that I need to control everything. And the first thing is just to be conscious about the people you're working with. I get to choose the people I'm working with, especially in this scenario, and so most importantly, I like and respect all these people, but I also like and respect the work that they do. And so it can be helpful to remind yourself of that, because if you like the work that you do, you should let them do the work that they do. And that doesn't mean holding back your opinion in any way, shape, or form. I think that clear and honest communication makes for better collaboration and ultimately a better project. I don't really believe in the auteur. Filmmaking truly is a group effort, but it isn't about forcing your ideas onto people. It's about communicating those ideas and even trying to convince people of your ideas and picking your battles with those ideas. You lose some of those battles, you win some of those battles, and when you both feel strongly about a certain thing, you discuss it, maybe fight a little bit about it, and as long as you're conscious about the people you're working with, you should know that they are also just trying to do what they think is best for the piece. And ultimately you lose some of those battles, which brings me to my second thing, is that your ideas are not always the right ideas, or all ideas are created equal, which I do genuinely believe in the creative sense. I am in no way one of those guys on the internet that's talking about how all ideas should be heard. But creatively, I think that all ideas are valid. I truly believe that creativity is communication, whether it's film, novels, paintings, whatever it is. It's someone trying to express something, a feeling, trying to express something, whether it's a fact or a feeling or a philosophy. And my way of communicating is different than other people. My way of understanding things is different than other people. Maybe I don't even understand the thing that's trying to be communicated. And so while I may have a great idea, it might not be in line with the story that someone else is trying to tell, or what someone else is trying to communicate. And again, there's nothing wrong with saying that I think this is wrong, because doing your best to communicate to them that you know what they're trying to communicate and why you think your way is the better way to communicate it. But you are not always right. You are not always right. And honestly, there probably is never really a right answer. There is no right way to tell a story. There's lots of different ways to tell lots of different stories. And then lastly, be okay with failure. And this is probably the hardest thing to deal with, because this is something that I'm still dealing with for myself now, being okay with my failures and when I get things wrong and when I am not living up to my own standards. But I think that my need to control things creatively really stems from that fear. It can feel a little bit like you're putting your life in someone else's hands. But a 3B would be, have faith in it. I think I talked about it in my first video that I started doing when we started the short film project, but you need to say, I care about this. I think that this is or will be good. And it actually might be easier to do for your own work. But when it's someone else's work, it's easier for you to go, yeah, I know, I would have done that differently. But no, it's important to stand behind it and have faith in it and say, I care about this. I think this is good. One, because it's the right thing to do. And two, is because you do. You wouldn't be doing it if you didn't care about it, if you didn't think it was good. But when other people's judgments enter into it, you start to try and protect yourself, your feelings and your ego. And that's why it's so easy to tear down other people's work. It feels like by tearing down others, you're boosting your own, which just is not the case. Just bad looks. And so I'm excited for Delirium Tremens. I'm excited to see the footage that they shot tonight, and I'm excited to see what Maddie does with the edit. Delirium Tremens will be here in a little over a week, and then we have a lot of really exciting things planned for December. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go follow us on all the social media channels so you get to see all the behind the scene goodness, and I will see you next week.